Good morning. It's June 24th, 2026, and I'm Kimberly from Fact Quarter Shop FlossTube, and we have an exciting FlossTube today. It's something we've never done before, but what we're going to do is we're going to show our progress on where we are since we're in the middle of the year. We're going to talk about, where we started. Are we ahead? Are we behind? How we're doing, kind of like a progress update. We have some 4 new holiday bags that are going to be super popular, and we have the June 2026 Stitch Quarterly reveal that Denise is going to show everybody, and then we have a little bit of what's new, not too much. So today's really going to be focused on more of the progress. I'm going to show you first the holiday bags. So we have the Spangled Holiday Bag, the Sweethearts Holiday Project Bag, the Maple Leaf Holiday Project Bag, and then the Evergreen Project Bag. So you can buy this as a set of all 4 or individually. And if you want to just remember, you can just search Holiday Project Bags. And each of the squares is like 5/8 of an inch or so. So one thing you could do with these is you could, stitch on top of here. You could put your initial, put a big K or something. And we developed these because Shepherd's Bush reached out and said, we would really like some holiday bags. And so they've already done their first design. It's called America Bag. And so obviously it's with this bag. And these buttons are from Just Another Button Company, and so you would buy these separately. And then this little charm is on order, and we will have it. This is from Lady Doc Creates. Now, if you want to make this in a kit, I would call Shepherd's Bush in Utah and order it from them, because we're offering the pattern and the bag, but not the floss. The floss that they use is the pearl cotton, and they did a video about it. And but if you're wanting a kit, I would go to them. And we're hoping that they design some other stuff to go with the bags. We love them. We love working with them. I wanted to show you these bags they will stand up. So at home, I use this a lot for yarn, because I can put this on the ground, put the yarn in, and then just pull it up. And then even if it falls over, my yarn is still in the bag, and it's not gonna get Piggy's dog hair all over it. So I use these more for crochet than I do for cross stitch. So that's just a hint. The size of the bags is 10.5 by 15 3/4. It's basically the same exact size as the large Mad for Plaid bags. So if you have one of those, you'll know the size. Let me know if y'all have any questions. The front and the back are exactly the same. And one fun behind the scenes is we did a lot of prototypes for this. Like, we went through rounds and rounds and rounds of edits to get the perfect bag. And then shout out to Carly, who designed them for us. And I think they're super cute. You can comment and let me know which one your favorite. This is my favorite, of course. And the Christmas one was really hard because we wanted to do red and green, and it just did not look good. Like, the prototype was horrible. And we should show one of the prototypes sometime, if we even still have them, just as that would be a fun behind the scenes of how products get developed. But the name of the bag makers is It's So Emma. The Holiday Project Bag is the name of the bags, and then the maker of the pattern is Shepherd's Bush. The maker of the buttons is Just Another Button Company, and the maker of the charm is Lady Doc Creates.
Good job.
I have this thing. If I close my mind, I can think better than if my eyes are open.
I will say that the fall one, I think, for me, was the hardest of going back and forth, because one, you wanted whatever design
to fit,
but then also for Kimberly to pick a brown.
Oh. Yeah.
Chelle actually has a prototype.
Oh, let me see a
we
prototype. Let me
usually,
see.
If prototypes don't work,
We don't throw them away.
we
use them.
just use them, but we know that it's like the incorrect one.
So this was the Halloween one we were trying to do between Halloween and fall, and that just looks like a circle, right? Even though it's got the little, this is supposed to be a pumpkin. Obviously, it doesn't look like a pumpkin, and obviously, I hate black. So I kind of was like, can we just go a little different direction? But with something so small, you can see the little brown there, but this square, like I said, is only 5/8 of an inch. So it's not going to show the stem. So we kind of had to go a different direction where we had something that could show the design. That's funny that was in here. Yeah, so we don't ever throw anything away. We just use it. And, Chelle obviously liked that design. So,
I like it too.
Oh, you? Mm-hmm. Oh, Alicia likes it. But doesn't it look like a circle?
Yeah, I mean.
We would have, I think in the meeting we said we weren't sure that we could ever get the stem to show. Okay, but if you guys like it, obviously we'll be making more. We can come back around to that at some point. Now I'm going to show you our birthday bash sale. So huge thank you to everyone for being a customer. We have been in business 23 years. We are so thankful to have this business, to have all our employees, to just thank you for everything. We have built the company on customer service, and I think we still have the same values we had when Kevin and I started this company. So you can receive a free So Charming Dresden enamel charm with any shippable orders $40 and over, and that will be today, tomorrow, and Friday. And so there is your promo code. Jordan put it on the screen. So a lot of you are going to shop anyway, so just make sure you put that promo code in, and then you'll have something fun. You can pop it on one of your bags. Okay, so now I'm going to do my mid-year WIP parade check-in. So as of the very first part of the year, we started the year showing what our goals were for the year. So the very first live stream of the year, I had 8 WIPs. WIPs stands for work in progress. And so I didn't come up with that term. That's like a cross-stitch community term. So at the beginning of the year, I had 8 WIPs. So as of today, I have 2 FFOs, which means 2 fully finished objects, meaning Denise finished them for me. 12 stitched finishes, which means I've stitched them, but they're not finished in a frame or a bag or in a pillow. Then I have 3 WIPs. My goal, about a month ago, I was like, you know what? I really want to start some new things. I had some stuff hidden in my little stash at home of things I wanted to start, but I will not let myself start until I finish things. So I really got on kind of like a hurry up and stitch so that I could add things. And those things that I'm adding, I will show you in a future live stream. So we're just going to go through what I'm going to try to tell you is just a little bit about the project. A lot of these you've seen, and these are just in a random order. And then I'm going to show mine. Denise, Alicia, and Chelle are going to show theirs, and then Cheryl is on vacation, so she will show her progress in 2 weeks. So we have not forgotten about Cheryl. So this is the first one I'm going to show. This is called Strawberry Pie, and we found this at the Needlework Market Show. This is by Fern Ridge Collection. This actually comes as like a little kit. So you get the kit. I changed my fabric because I didn't want to stitch on linen. And so this is how I finished mine. And this one is exciting because I actually did the finishing, which is surprising. I think it's super cute. I'm actually not going to use it. It's going to go on my, I'm going to put it on my little shelf. So this one is fully finished. This one only took me maybe like a week. And honestly, the only reason I did this one is because Denise was doing it and she was going to finish hers. And I was like, well, if she does it, I have to do it. You know how you have the FOMO? Well, I didn't want to have FOMO. So fear of missing out, right? So yes. I really did it because, well, I think I might have found it at H&H. Yes. But then y'all were like, oh, I think I can do it. And I was like, y'all are crazy. We can't do that. But we did. Of course, I changed the fabric and it was cute. This is The thread that comes in here is I don't remember the brand, but it was a silk, and so it was really easy to use. And even the back stitches, those weren't too bad. But that's one of my favorites. Now that I've shown you guys, I can put it on my shelf. So that's my first fully finished object. The second one, Denise finished. This is Cherry Love. And this is a pattern from Fat Quarter Shop. And this was a sew along we did earlier in the year. And this is my finish. And Denise did a reel or a video on how you finish this. This is just a frame that we got at Hobby Lobby that Jordan found. And we think it fits really nice. So those are my two finishes. This one was super easy. The one thing I did do is I changed my pink to be Blushing Beauty because I felt like the pink that we picked didn't show up on my fabric enough. Okay. Now we're gonna move to stitched finishes, meaning they're finished, but they're not framed or anything like that. February Good Old Days. This was the very last. There was 12 of these, and this was the last one. So the previous 11 I finished in 2025.
There's one more.
Oh, there's two. Oh, yeah, I forgot. This is 3 charts. I forgot about that. Oh, yeah, so this was the last, and each of them had 3 charts. So there was really 36 pieces, but this one's finished. Denise, have we decided how we're finishing these?
Yes, you do it on that custom board. Let me bring it by Paisley's and
Polka Dots.
She did one to where you
that's
put
right.
the 3 rather than that big piece.
But we haven't done any of them, or have you done
I've done
some?
all the ones from that you've stitched in 2025. Those are completely done. Alicia's grabbing it right now. So the
Okay,
ones
so
in
we can show you.
2026 we haven't done.
So see, like, it's really hard to remember all of the things. Since this, I don't think I've stitched on chalkboard black in a while, and I'm kind of missing it. Oh, this is funny. Safe Track said, I want to thank Kimberly for mentioning the electric unpicker. It is the bomb. Yes, I love that product, and I'm so glad that I eventually found it. That is a quilting product, but I have been using it quite a lot lately. So we showed this last year now that I'm thinking about it. This was the first in the series. And so you would get the board from Paisley's and Polka Dots, paint it, and then Denise made this where we interchange these. So she has all of them finished except for February. So that was one item, which, oh, you know what? We could count it as 3, really. It's really 3. Let's add that as an extra. Okay, my next finish is the Quilting Bee Sewing Machine by Lori Holt. And this one, I changed the sewing machine color. And let's see, I made it Chesapeake Bay and St. Bernard right here. And also in the border, I did not do any yellow accent stitching. Now on this one, I'm actually really happy with the amount of time it's taking to do these. These, I thought they were gonna take like so much time, and they really haven't. So this is my first one. And then my second one is pins and pin cushions. And so both of those are finished. And then the next one is shipped to club members, and the next one does have a yellow border. So those are both finished, and I just think these are fun, and I was really thinking, oh my gosh, this is going to take me forever. It's going to take forever, ever. And it has not. So I've been really happy with the fact that I've been able to keep up. I was kind of thinking I would get really behind on this one, and I did not. So that's really nice.
For finishing, are you going to want to put it in the same frame as Lori, or when you go to the framer, are you going to switch it?
So what I'm thinking is, I was thinking maybe a gray. I like this frame, but it really matches her fabric. Her fabric that she used was Fiber on a Whim Cream and Sugar. And so this is really cream. Mine is white. So I don't think this frame would match this. Now I love the color. I love the design of it. So I'm thinking maybe a gray, A white would kind of get lost. I am thinking I'm going to put these all on one wall, kind of like a collage. Like not so straightty, but more like
Gallery kind of?
yeah, like a gallery kind of thing. And I'm not going to frame these until the very end when I'm done with all of them because I want it's actually cheaper because they buy the frame, and anyway, it'll come out a little bit cheaper for me. Okay. So these, the ones I've shown you so far, have been chalkboard black and pale gray gingham. Okay, the next one is Garden of Quilts. This one, I finished early. We did a stitch along, and I finished early, but I did just the top row of flowers. I did change my colors. I used pale gray gingham. So one thing I did when I started this one was I wasn't sure if I was going to do the bottom. I didn't think I was, but I wanted to have the option if I changed my mind to add it. So that's why there's more at the bottom. And so this one I'm ahead of the game. I'm excited. This is by Lori Holt, and I changed some of the colors. I've talked about it in other live streams. I do think this one, I was kind of thinking about going back and adding just this little border right here so that it would have a bottom. But then I thought, well, I don't know, that might look funny in a frame. So that was one thing that I thought about, is if I should add this, but I think it would kind of take away from the frame. So I'll probably, a lot of these that need to go to the framer, I'll just go and do them all at one time. We haven't taken them in a while because we wanted to hold them to show for this live stream. Oh, the next one is March Good Old Days. Okay. So this is the last two. That's what Alicia meant. This is the last two. So I'm going to count this as 3. Super cute. And I love that there's 3. I love that they're small. I love projects that I can just, pick up, and just carry with me, do in the car. I'm one of those people, I can stitch in the car. I can do amazing things in the car. The other day, Kevin got in the car and he's like, what is all this stuff in here? He's like, you got a light, you got scissors, he's like, what are you doing in here? And I'm like, I am working. When my kids, I will send them in Starbucks and I will be like, let me do a little bit of work. So there's that. Love Triangle. Did this come out a couple years ago or this year? I can't remember.
I thought it came out this year.
Yeah, I think it came out this year, and I just liked it, so I stitched all 3 of them. How are we finishing these? Have we decided?
Yes, I am going to do them as the pillows, similar to that.
This-
You've picked the fabric already.
I have.
Yes.
And a lot of these finishes, Denise, she says you picked, it means she picked.
So this was the
Oh, that's
inspiration
right.
of your colors.
That's
a
That's a-
Christopher Thompson
It's
collection? Love letters?
It is by Riley Blake. Let's see if it's on the salvage. Letters to Cupid
There we go. I was close.
by My Mind's Eye. And so, Denise will do that when she has a second, but I think that was her idea. I don't think I picked any of this. So a lot of times she's like, oh, you did this. It really means she did this. I don't know why she doesn't just say she did this. But this is super cute. And like, if you wanted me to finish it, Denise, I could probably do it if I took it home one weekend. We'll see. I wouldn't, so one of the things is with finishing stuff like this, I would have to do it at home, not at work. Because I have to kind of be like in this mode, and it's the craziest thing. When I get in my sewing room and I'm like in the zone, the stuff I can get done is crazy. It's because I have my TV, I have my little bird feeder, and I have my headphones. So I can do whatever I want, and I can tune out. I just turn my phone off, and then sometimes when I turn, not off, but like I don't do my text messages, and then I'll have 15 and my kids are like, why didn't you answer? I'm like, I don't know, I was working. But that's how I get so much done, is just turning off like my email and everything. But I mean, if you told me which ones to do, I could do it. Okay, Scrappy Americana. This one I had hoped to be done by now, right?
Yes.
So this one I'm on target. This one, let's see.
Do you have your 50 stars?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so backstory. We did the design and we accidentally did 56 stars. So Cheryl stitched it and there was 56 stars. So we went all the way to proofing, and at the proofing meeting somebody said there's not 50 stars, there's 56. So we had to unstitch the whole I think Denise, so I think Cheryl stitched it. I might be saying some of this wrong, but from what I can remember, Cheryl stitched it, Denise unpicked it, and then Denise was going to finish it, but she never finished it back. This is right here, this is photoshopped somehow. I don't know how, I don't have those skills. But then when I stitched it, I was very careful because Denise had trouble getting the fit. Anyway, it's really easy to mess that up. Let's just say that. In the end, the product came out perfect for every customer. Thankfully, we got that done. I'm gonna do the same frame, and this frame is just from Hobby Lobby or something like that. I think Denise picked it out. The frame info is on the back. Yeah. Oh, Jordan picked it out.
And on that one, I do have a finishing reel planned on how to make it fit in a pre-bought frame.
And the frame in real, online, is showing very royal. In real life, it's very muted, and so it matches really well. So this one, we'll probably get this finished in the next 2 months or something. Okay, this one is a pop-up. This is 2026 Collector's Heart by Heart and Hand, and this one is at the framer. So that is why it's a pop-up. All of these ones that I have been showing you that are on this white fabric, they're all 14 count pale gray gingham. And we do have a blog post that tells you every project and then every fabric and thread. And then we're gonna add to that to where we start including our stitchy staffers. So then Chelle would have a post. You know what I mean? Twice a year, each person would have their own post. So somebody needs to tell. Okay, somebody needs to tell, because I just made that up. So this came with thread. This is Cottage Garden Threads. I had to buy a second one because I didn't think about the fact that the fabric that comes with this is a linen and it's super small. This is what it looks like. So if you bought your kit, you bought the pattern, you would get all 3 of these. But I am gonna, the linen, I just gave it to, I basically give it to Denise, and whoever wants it takes it, because we don't throw anything away, but I'm not going to use linen. So this is Heart and Hand 2026 Collector's Heart. I think I've done a couple of these. Mm-hmm. This one, it's at the framer. The frame we picked is gray.
It's like a gray, and you've used it before on other collector hearts.
It's like creamy, but not white.
Correct. I do have a question though for you on that one. If Jordan still has the pop-up,
he does.
How was it for you stitching not loop method and stitching, the traditional more to see that variegation?
So this is highly variegated. That's probably not the correct term, but I really didn't know what I was going to do, and I started in the bottom, and it was hard at first, and then I grew to love it. But I did try to make, you can see all the letters, I really tried to make all of those dark so they would stand out. And then the bottom I did very variegated, but I tried that little flower, you can tell I planned the little flower and the basket all kind of in the same color. So I was jumping around more, and it was the only thing that I would say was difficult was the strands are super short. So I kept having to change my needle a bunch, which I didn't like. But I did like doing it. It's something I would definitely do again, and it was definitely outside my comfort zone. I was very intimidated to start it. And then I did get frustrated when I ran out of thread, but Denise was like, well, you should have thought about that because you're doing 14 count. And I was like, well, I should have thought about that, but I did not. So somebody said, can you explain what you like about the floss you used at Heart and Hand? Be true to your heart.
The one you're on.
Oh, this one. Okay, so this I liked that the thread was silk, and I liked that you could play around with it. What I didn't like is that it's pre-cut, so the strands were shorter. And, you know, it just took a little learning curve to like get more comfortable. It took me a while to get comfortable.
Did you find yourself did you catch yourself like wanting to thread your needle as a loop?
No, no. I was like, I don't know, because I know what Denise is talking about. Sometimes I've done projects where I like, what did I do? But this one, I did it pretty quick. I did this in like 2 or 3 days. And so if I do something where I just start it and finish it, I'm less likely to have mistakes. But if I have something I'm doing all the time, I can't tell you how many times I have to email or text someone and say, wait, what am I doing? We do keep a spreadsheet. And so the first thing I would do is look at that spreadsheet, but sometimes I don't have access to that spreadsheet. So that's how I keep myself organized. For this one, I use 2 strands, and you keep the strands together so that you keep the variegation. And I believe that Heart and Hand did a video where she talked about it. There was something I referred to that I watched or read on her blog, something, because I was like, you know what, I need to be ready. So I did research that before I started. The next one was definitely not planned at the beginning of the year. This one I found at Nashville Needlework Market. So this one I just loved. I fell in love with it and took it home and made it really quick. This one was super fun. I liked that you could do each square one at a time. And this is the new fabric we started carrying called Digi-Stitchery. This is the 14 count gray dot. And this was the first time I used the Digi-Stitchery fabric and realized how it's soft but stiff, and you can go a little bit faster on this, or I can go a little bit faster on this than I can on the fabric flare. How are we going to frame? Are we going to frame this, or what are we going to do? Do you know? We haven't talked about this one, I don't think.
No, that one we haven't talked about.
I think we'll probably just frame it, and then I think what we should do is like leave like a lot of the dots showing. Like instead of doing like this, like maybe frame it where there's like an inch showing, so you kind of see that dot.
Make it into a flag.
Make it into a flag. Well, the only thing is it's not proportional. Like it needs another row. Like it's a little long and skinny. Have you noticed that?
No.
But if you made it into a
It's more
flag,
like
how
a
would you do
flag.
it?
I know, I was like,
That's a flag shape.
Oh, it is? Isn't it supposed to be a little bit longer?
It's not like perfectly square or anything.
you are looking at the wrong. But yes, I can finish it into a flag.
I think we can just frame it.
We can frame it, but yes, I will keep the border in mind.
And then we can just maybe like just put all the ones that need to be framed, and we'll just go one day, and I can
Yes.
just go and do it all at once. So that's Caterpillar cross stitch. That was a fun addition to the year. You know, some of these I had planned when I said at the beginning of the year I had 8 WIPs or 8 projects that I wanted to do. So this was an addition. At the beginning of the year, we released Seasonal Jars by Lori Holt. It uses her stitch cards for the designs inside. And on this one is fully finished. So there's spring, summer, fall, and winter.
Yes.
Yes, spring,
ma'am.
summer, fall, and winter. So I have spring finished. And then I'm going out of order, but this is started. So these have been really fun. I love the jars. So kind of when I do these, I do the shell first. I outline the jars, all of them, and then I go in and fill in. And what I did not realize, and I should have because I did proof the pattern, is I didn't realize that this is the same exact design, same exact size. It just is a color difference. I don't know what I was thinking, but I just thought maybe it was a mix of jars and maybe stuff moved around, and it didn't. What changes is your color of your jar and what goes on the inside, and that's what makes it the seasonal jar. So this one, we've talked about what I'm going to put inside of it. This one, I think my next step is going to be to do the jar tops, and then maybe just one day just do all of the insides. I have found that spreading stuff out over so many live streams gives me anxiety. I think it works great for the company and Denise and Alicia, but for me, it gives me anxiety because like when I start something, I want to do it. And I love these colors. This is the perfect Kimberly colors. Pink, yellow, blue, green. So seasonal jars. This next one was definitely another addition that I had not planned. I made this 2 weeks ago. So this is Anna's Rose Basket by JBW Designs, and we saw this at Nashville Needlework Market on display. And I was like, oh my gosh, that looks amazing. Now, the sample was stitched super tiny. It might not say on here. I think it was stitched on 36 count. So, of course, I'm not doing anything on 36 count. So I found, this is that new Digi Stitchery company. This is 14 count. No, this is not. This is 27 count Daisy Delight. So this one is, you had to stitch over 2. This one, Lori, she converted these colors from, basically the DMC colors are listed and Classic and Weeks are listed. She pulled all of the thread that we sent her in the NPI thread club, and then she picked it, and I just did the same exact thing she did. She's also finished hers, so she'll show that on her FlossTube. Hers is super, super small. Oh, I should have got that photo to show.
You want to send it?
Yeah, we can see if we can find that photo and send it. Now, I will say, this is probably the hardest cross stitch I've ever done because the pattern is small and it's black and white. And I pulled so many stitches out of this thing. I would just be stitching over here, but I would be stitching this rose because it's all, it's like a rose. So I would like start stitching this rose, but I'd be on the wrong page even. I'd be like on this one. So then I would have to, it took me 2 days to do it.
Did you end up Xeroxing it or anything to make the pattern bigger?
So what Lori did, because I was at her house, she let's see, she couldn't get her printer where, I can't remember. Oh, she was trying to, I don't remember, she tried to do a couple things. Anyway, she did enlarge it. I can't remember if she did the enlargement from a scanner or from a photo, but that is what I used. And then that, I also was getting confused because I was looking at this and then I was looking at the one Lori did and then I'd be on the wrong. But I will say, I love this. I want to frame it and put it in my office. And if I could find a pink frame, and then I do want to keep this where we see the daisies. So like not a tight frame, but like I think this really, you can really see the Digi Stitchery designs, and I want that to show off. So,
We have the pop-up of the comparison.
oh, we do have the pop-up. Jordan's going to show you. So this was taking literally while my, what do you call that driver? Uber driver? What do you call it? Uber?
Yeah.
I had a scheduled Uber to come pick me up to go to the airport. And so this is what we photoed right before, and that's why it's not ironed or anything, which probably drove Lori crazy. So Lori's is at the bottom, and she started with the dark red. I started with the basket. And so we would just be like, oh, we would give each other tips for each section because it was a lot harder than I thought. And I think it's because it's full coverage, and that's not something that I'm used to doing. I mean, obviously it's not 100% full coverage, but this is all full coverage when you're in here and there's no space. But I did like working with the 27 count. I thought it was really nice, and I think the color came out good. Now on this one, what I did is I brought my thread and I brought 5 fabrics. I brought this fabric, I brought a pink gingham, a seafoam gingham, a gray, I don't know, I brought a bunch of fabrics, and I said, Lori, just pick. And she picked this one. And oh, this was left over from my
your strawberry pie.
my strawberry pie. And so it was just the bottom piece of this. And I just threw it in my bag. So that's where I came up with this fabric, is I just gave Lori a couple of choices, and she did the floss toss. And honestly, like, I just trust Lori to just know. She knows what I like. So I just was like, you just tell me what to stitch and I'll stitch. So it took us 2 days to do that. The colors we are going to list for you in a future live stream. So the next live stream we do, we're going to go in detail about all the NPI colors and the exact conversions. But what I did is on the pattern right there, I wrote my conversions. So that's what I would recommend. But we can go over that in a future live stream since, yeah, this one's new. Oh, and with this, I saw these this morning. Denise found these. These are 2 cross-stitch designs by Brenda Riddle Designs. And those are so cute. And I thought, you know what? This is a very similar look to this. So what if I took the colors from this and then made this and this? I would probably turn this pink and then I could frame them. They would all be a little bit different, or just do maybe this one, frame them and kind of put them together offset. So this one, I love how she put it in a little box. Now, I don't know where you would find that box, but definitely inspired me to want to do more like this. It really, I did say a couple of curse words, I will admit, because I had to unpick so much. But also, I think because I was hanging out with Lori and we were talking and we were watching true crime and we were watching this lady. There's this lady that we love. She is so inappropriate and she is so funny. We kept rewinding it. And then we would just die laughing. And then really literally, I was like, one time I was like, I'm going to pee. I have to go. I'm going to pee on myself. It's so funny. So the fact that we were watching really just trashy TV did not help the situation. And I am 100% responsible for making her watch that stuff. Sometimes she's like, I have to turn it off. Okay. This one was planned at the beginning of the year, but I finished it early. And the biggest thing on this one was I thought I was going to hate it because it is farm animals. And I don't know a thing about farm animals. I don't know anything about chickens, horses, sheep, nothing, goats, nothing. I don't know anything about it. So I was like, whatever, I don't like it. Oh my God, I love stitching it. So this was Venetian stone, which I haven't used in a long time, and I really liked it. So this one, because I liked it so much, I was like, you know what? I'm going to finish it. So this was one of the ones where, like a month ago, when Denise said, oh, we're going to do a mid-year roundup or progress, that kind of thing, I was like, oh, I'm going to finish this one. So I finished this one. Hopefully there's no mistakes. I didn't change. I don't even think I changed any colors. So this is Farmyard Friends by Lori Holt. This one we're going to frame, and I'm going to use the same frame. So this one will go, we're going to just take a trip to the framer. And then we're going to hope Kevin doesn't review the credit card bills that month, because he will, every time we go to the framer, he will just be like, what was this for?
Something beautiful, Kevin.
I'm like, oh. So the Quilted Farm Girl, this one I would have loved to be finished with, but it's too much left to go. I did make progress since last time. Since last time I did the strawberry basket. I fixed her hair, and then I did the little 9 patches, and then I started outlining. Now this one, I think my goal on this is going to be just to sit down one weekend and finish it. I know we're doing so basically we're doing this so that all of you can sew along, and that's great. I love it. But sometimes I just get anxiety over I just want to finish it. That's just me. That's my personality. So I'm way ahead of the plan that Denise had. I think she wants me to slow down. It's hard for me to have something open and then just keep opening the bag, because when I open it, I just want to finish. So all I have left is right here and right here. So this little section right here. So, and one thing I was trying to do with this, I thought, well, how can I go a little bit faster? So I thought, okay, let me do one color. So I started outlining, because then I am going to take a trip. Tomorrow I'm getting on a plane. So I need to take something with me. But this to me is too big for a plane, and too big to take out of town. But this one, next time you see it, maybe I'll be finished. Maybe I won't. We'll see. But this one has been fun, and I did change her color of hair to look like Emma. And I can tell you, Emma, she is no farm girl. She's like, Mom, I had to order okay, she's in a sorority. I don't know anything about sororities. Sororities, that's not my thing. That's definitely not my thing. I don't want to hang out with anybody. So she's in a sorority. She's like, Mom, they have to approve the clothes I wear for a rush. I bought something new, and I was like, honey, you in your closet had plenty of clothes. And not only does she have to get it approved, she has to put it on with makeup and do her hair and have somebody take a photo of her. And I'm like, girl, you are crazy. I just don't get any of it. I think it's great she's in a sorority. I love it for her, but I could never have done any of that. Me and Kevin were just laughing at her. We were like, oh, you go, girl. So, okay, the next one, Log Cabin Christmas by Little House Needleworks. This one was planned, and I'm a little bit behind on this one. So on this one, doing these squares, I have to really be at home in a chair. This is not something I can travel with. Sometimes I do a lot of stitching at work. Not a lot, but about 4 hours a week. But this one I have found it's too much start and stop for at work. At work, I really need to be able to do fill-in. So if an employee comes in and we start talking, I don't forget where I'm at. So this one is actually January, February, March, April. This is June. So we're on June 24th and I haven't done it. So this is next up. I will do this one, stop, and then go to July. So I'm actually behind on this one. And then, so that is all of my fully finished ones. Oh, no.
You jumped into WIPs.
I
too.
jumped into WIP. Sorry. So I kind of went out of order. So just as a summary,
All the way up.
let's see. I just want to give the numbers right.
All the way. Keep on going.
I had 2 fully finished objects, which means framed or sewn. I have 12 finishes that are fully finished. They need to either go to the framer or Denise. And then I have 3 WIPs. Now, when we regroup in 2 weeks, I'm going to show you kind of my plan for the rest of the year, and so is everybody else, so that, you know, we can, and some of us might have a bigger plan, some of us might have a smaller plan, some of us might just want to stitch as we go. So all of us are going to have a different method to kind of how we work, because really for the stitch finishes, we're just showing what they want to show. Like, there's no rules of what we do. I obviously keep everything super like OCD because that's just me. What do I like sewing most, Kimberly? Sewing or stitching? I love all of those. I also love crochet. I like to, whatever I'm doing that day, I want it's something that I can start and finish that day. So it's more about, like, for example, if I'm doing a block of the month, I don't want to sew one block. That's a waste of my time. I want to wait till I have at least 2 or 3 blocks so I can knock out that project all at once. So for me, it's more about what do I have ready? What can I accomplish with the least amount of wasted time? I love all of the crafts equally. I will say I like quilting at home much better than at work. Cross stitch I can do anywhere, and crochet I can do anywhere. The cross stitch I can do anywhere if it's small. So any of those small projects I love, but none of my WIPs right now are small projects. Now I have some that are small projects for next year or next quarter, but I can't show you yet because that would take away from next time's live stream. So if y'all have any questions, let me answer any questions we have in before Chelle comes. I remember purchasing from FQS in the very early days. The packages were beautifully wrapped with tissue paper and ribbon. I was super impressed. Oh, thank you. So, you know, before I will brag on me and Kevin. I rarely do that. But we were the very first company who ever came in and put stuff in plastic bags. Ever. Nobody ever did any of that stuff before we came in. Now, of course, there weren't a lot of companies, but we want to make sure when that package gets to you, nothing is wet. It is packaged, it's cut correctly, and no matter who packages it, they should all look the same. So we do have like very, very high standards on, you know, there's a certain way you fold a fat quarter. There's a certain way you fold, you know, there's a whole method to the madness. And I feel like we've been able to keep that quality and all of that because customer service really matters to me. If I have a bad experience somewhere, I immediately am like, what if that happened at Fat Quarter Shop? How would I handle that? What is the best way to handle that? And if that company I bought from didn't, I'm going to let them know. On the flag, it looks like there's an extra tan stitch. So we'll look.
Oh,
Let me, I don't know. Let's see.
because the other flag doesn't have tan, correct? The,
No,
Oh,
It's
this
more-
one?
yeah, that one's white, correct?
Yeah, it's white.
there is. I'm trying to, okay. I don't know if that's, hold on. Let me put some glasses on. See if I have any of those glasses. Okay, here they are. There might be an extra stitch. I can't tell. No, it's not an extra stitch. It's a thread. So the thread right there is super dark. That's going horizontal, and it just looks like a stitch. But I had to put my glasses on to see that that wasn't a stitch. That's crazy. Maybe I should pull that, and maybe I should not. Try to pull anything out. I love the Notability app for being able to zoom in and enlarge patterns on my iPad. That tip, hat tip to Denise for that recommendation. Yes, Denise is all about technology. I want nothing to do with, Priscilla is the one that's always like, why don't you get an iPad? I'm like, because I will, number one, lose it. Number two, not know how to use it. I'll tell y'all a funny story. I'm not supposed to be talking this long today, but I got a new printer at work because I kept having to ask people to print stuff. I could not figure out how to stop it from doing two-sided. I was like so mad. I was like, what do I do? Anyway, it took me 2 days to figure out how to not do that. And it was the easiest thing, but I've never had a printer that does that. And I try not to bug my employees too much because I'm like, oh, they're going to think I'm stupid. And then Kevin was like, why did you have to ask David how to fix this? And I was like, how do you know that I asked David how to fix this? He's like, I heard him helping you. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so embarrassed. What size is my fabric for log cabin? That one was a big size. It's super big. It's like, it's,
Measure it.
yeah. Denise is going to measure it. Do I know the fabric that is on the cover of the pattern for Stitch Quarterly My Blooming Country Home Finished Pillow on the cover?
No, that I don't know the fabric.
Yet?
Because Heart and Hand finished it, so I don't know like what like the fabric was from her stash.
Oh, okay. She used fabric from her stash. Okay, Denise is measuring the log cabin Christmas.
18 by 26.
18 by 26. Okay, so now we're going to show Chelle, and we're going to show all of her progress.
Good morning, everybody. This was a little overwhelming over the weekend. Looking at what I've stitched, what I plan to stitch, what I haven't stitched, what I wanted to stitch. So I'll try to run through this quickly, I guess.
You don't have to be quick.
So I'll start with the fully finished objects, and everything that's finished was finished by Denise. So the first one is the Bee Queen by Tiny Modernist.
Do you want to pass it this way when you're done?
Oh, sure. This is a frame that we found at Hobby Lobby. The next one is the Edgar Allan Poe tree. Another frame from Hobby Lobby. Really love this gothic look with this. With
Do you
this
want to
one.
name the fabric you used?
Oh, sorry. Yes, I have notes. I'm not using them. This is Garnet Cosmo 14 count. And that is the perfect size for this. You don't have to cut it down or anything.
Have you hung any of these yet in your home?
Yes. The Bee Queen and the, who's next? The Tea Goddess were both hung, saving Edgar Allan Poe for the fall. And then we have the Tea Goddess. This is 14 count Lemon Zest by Fabric Flair. Another Hobby Lobby frame.
And I will say, since Chelle came on Livestream and showed this, we have sold so many of this one in particular. Out of all the ones Chelle has shown, this obviously I think is a fan favorite because it just keeps selling and we just keep reordering it.
It's very
That's
bright
really
and cheery. Okay, what do we have next? Okay, the Valentine Terrarium by Tiny Modernist. Here we go. And on this one, this is a 14 count gray dot by Digi Stitchery. And we used Lizzie House Funny Valentine fabric on this one. And is this this trim, is this a
Vintage trim, Lori Holt.
okay, Lori Holt vintage
Peony.
trim?
Yes, I think I was avoiding saying the name, but yes.
And I've also got Big Hearted Tiny Town that I did on the same 14 count gray dot. And again, this is Lizzie House Funny Valentine fabric on here.
Now on that one, does it go on a board? On the last two, are you putting those on boards, or how are you displaying the last two?
Denise,
Those were the stands
printed
that
stands.
I slide in
Oh,
for
so
it
they
to
just
mount.
sit.
Okay.
on mantle. And then this is my last fully finished. This is Caffeinate by Heartstring Samplery. This is on taupe dyed effect 14 count by Fabric Flair. And this was, my husband is a coffee roaster, and this was a birthday gift for him to match one that I did at Christmas. Again, all finishing by Denise. It's
Is
perfect.
he putting that in the kitchen?
Yes, he put them in the kitchen. It's been a bit of a debate because there was a clock. There was a clock that's been around that I bought when my son was 6 to help him tell time, and it fell off the wall recently. And I'm having a hard time, and that's where these were going to go, but I'm having a very hard time. It's just got a sentimental thing. I would not have expected it from me, but there's something about this little clock that's just always been.
Do you think you can find one that matches?
I think that's what's going to
I
happen.
think you have to like take a photo, put it in ChatGPT.
Yes, there was a store in Portland that we love, Fred Meyer. It was our favorite store, and we found it there. And so, yes, there's just been, they'll get put up. So, okay, now I'm going to move on to stitch finishes. So this is Halfway Happy by Heartstring Samplery. This one is on Stone 16 count by Fiber on a Whim. I love this one. Super fast stitch, and it had it did use all the called for colors on this one. I tend to have a habit of switching everything to DMC, and I did use the called for on this one. Okay. And that one, the Halfway Happy, was part of my plan for the year. This one was not part of my plan, I believe. I've decided I like to sneak in some quick finishes. I used to be somebody who start one and finish it. That's how I quilt. Do all the parts and finish it. And that's how I started cross stitching, but that has obviously stopped. There's a lot of shiny objects that jump out at me. So again, Blooming Tiny Town by Heart and Hand. This is on Kimberly's Pink Gingham 14 count by Fabric Flair. And I used DMC.
And this was your first time doing a Lazy Daisy stitch? Was it on this piece?
Yes, I did the Lazy Daisy, but I don't do French knots very well still. I tried, and I didn't like how they look. So I thought the Lazy Daisies look fine without the French knots in the middle. And up here, these were supposed to be French knots. And I just did X's. And I like it. This was...
Michelle Autry says she lives in Portland. Send a picture and she'll see if she can find it.
That's nice. That's sweet. It's giant. It was a huge clock. That's very nice. Let's see. Oh, this was just a regular bird, and I turned it into a chicken because I have chickens. I added a wattle and a comb and gave him yellow legs on this one. This is another one that I did not plan at the beginning of the year, but it came out and it was super cute. I think it was super cute, and I love this pink, this plaid fabric from Digi Stitchery. This is a 16 count pale pink plaid. I love this. I love working on her fabric, and then I really love this plaid.
And I want to say that was a new fabric designer for us this year.
Yes.
So, total fan favorite here.
Yes, I'm loving it. I think I said this, Spring Bunny by Tiny Modernist. We all know I love Tiny Modernist. This was not a plan. Let's see here. This is Night Snail by Stitch Crypt, and it was in the 2026 Nashville Needlework Market Cookbook. Happiness is Homemade. We still have just a few copies of this one left. What did I stitch this on? This is 16 count plum by Fiber on a Whim.
What are you gonna put on the rest of the piece?
To frame it, or?
Yeah, like, are you gonna add more to it or just cut it out?
I'm gonna add this.
Oh, okay.
This was not part of my plan. I was sort of thinking it might be cute to have like sort of a Halloween tree to get a sort of a.
Yeah.
I don't have a design bone in me, so this is like a tree that looks dead, which is branches coming off of it, and then maybe hang little spooky ornaments. Just finish them into little ornaments. So that is what I'm thinking right now.
You give yourself not enough credit, first of all.
Okay. So this one is Autumn Lane, a spooky bite. Make sure this is what it's going to get added onto this purple as well. Okay.
Are you gonna end up cutting your fabric beforehand, or you're gonna do it the same as you've done the stitch crypt ones, where you leave the other piece on and then just stitch to the like right or left of it?
Right now I'm leaving it, but I change my mind constantly, so we'll see. And this is the piece that Denise is talking about that I have put 3 designs on so far. This one is fully finished. This is Spooky Blooms by the Stitch Crypt. Again, I love these so much. The fabric, where am I at on my list, is 16 count Night Sky by Fiber on a Whim. And over here we have the Rainy Day Ghost. This one is also stitch finished. In the middle, so this is an in progress one that's sneaking in here, is Summerween. It's still not finished because I've seen new things and got distracted with other things. But my plan is to come back down here on the bottom. I have this written out in my bag. I don't remember the order right now, but I'm going to add these 3 to the bottom. We have Feral and Spooky, Happy Hauntings, and the Halloween House. It might I might cut this in half at this point, but we'll see. No plan yet on that. Okay. Thank you. Okay, what's next? Okay. Next we have, these are fully finished. We have Pot Shop by Satsuma Street. This one I told you guys, I think last time, I read somebody talking about using the wool thread and new shiny object. I wanted to go try it, and I love this wool thread. I love working with it, and it forced me to come out of my comfort zone where I always start with the loop method, and now I do not. So that was forced myself to try new things.
So did you stop that completely?
No, I go back and forth now.
Oh.
When I look and see like, oh, this would be easy for the loop method, or if I have leftover thread, I start it with the new knot method. I've been going back and forth, and I did a sample for the store that's not out yet, and I used Classic Colorworks, and I did everything correctly. I followed all the rules, which also meant starting.
Because I would have not.
Yeah, no, it was good because it was like, it was silly. I just get stuck in my comfort zone of like, I will only use DMC. I will only use this, and now I'm growing. So this is another one by Satsuma Street, Sunnyside. It uses they both have 14 of the wool threads. It's the same one in both, and I put it on. This is the off-white 14 count by Cosmo. Fit on here perfectly. And then because shiny things, I keep this on a design board until they're finished, and I was walking by this, and it was sitting next to another Tiny Town, and I was like, whoa, a Tiny Town will fit right here perfectly. So I'm gonna throw the Needleworkers Tiny Town across the bottom.
Are you gonna stitch that in called for, or are you gonna stitch
Nope.
it in Echo?
Nope, I'm gonna stick with I'm gonna stick with DMC
Oh, okay.
on this one again. Stick with that. So, okay.
Before you're about to move to your
Yeah.
WIPs or the next section, I wanted to interrupt and ask based on where you were in the beginning of the year, looking back, are you surprised at how much you have completed?
I am a little bit, I'm a little bit surprised. I'm realizing I think I stitch quickly.
Yeah.
Because I don't spend a large part of my, it's usually in the evenings and then the
Yeah.
weekends when I have time. I have learned to do car stitching. I've learned to leave a lot of fill-in for
Yeah.
car stitching. But yes, I'm quite surprised. And I would like to see, just like Kimberly, I would like to see a few more finishes.
Yeah.
So next are the things that I have that are in progress, ready to go. I just grab a bag and go that I've put some stitches in. They're not finished yet. The first one is Gothic Bat. Yasmin's Made with Love. And I am using, DMC 154 is what I chose for this. And this is on 14 count eggshell by Fiber on a Whim. I've put a few stitches in it, but I'm not quite getting the rhythm of how to read these patterns and keep up with single, what do you call, all over one color? I don't
Like
know.
monochromatic?
Monochromatic. I'm having a hard time following the pattern memorandum, so I think I need to make working copies of this and maybe highlight when I get done each time. Possibly try Denise's iPad method because I really want to work on it and I put some stitches in it and I just get overwhelmed and I put it back away again, but I really want to work more on this one. Next is the Fall Folk Dragon by Tiny Modernist. Okay. So this one, I've completely finished the dragon. I've finished everything around the dragon. I'm calling this his island. So now I'm getting started on these mushrooms on the island. This is the one I'm working on right now, and I think I'm gonna stick with it till we're done because I'm really close to being finished with this one, and there's not a lot of color change. It's gonna be a lot faster. These borders often take a little more time. Because I don't do one color at a time. I'll do all the red and then I'll switch to the peach, then I'll switch to the green. So now I'm just trying to, or not trying to, I'm working on this part and it's gonna go a lot faster. Down here, did I say what fabric this was?
I don't think so.
This is Cobalt 14 Count by Fiber on a Whim. Okay, this one I'm working on is Season's Greeting from the Mary Stitchmas book by Emma Congdon. Hope I said that right.
It's so cute.
I love this one so much. This is with 14 count Morganite. Is that Fiber on a Whim? Yes, Fiber on a Whim. This is with DMC, so I have all of the frames on there, and now I'm just going through. I'm not sure why I started down here. Maybe because I finished the frames down here. Who knows? But I was working on this one recently. My just got a few things in there to remind me that I love it. And I love the colors, so.
When I was going through my stuff, it was like, oh, I remember this one. I need to add this to my rotation again. And then I'm like, oh yeah, not feasible.
This one is Hopperstown by Heartstring Samplery. I have the top left done. That's all I've done on it this year. Another good reminder, I really like this one, so I need to pull it out. This one is using Graveyard Mist 14 count by Lap and Loops. We have it on order and it's going to be here very soon. So if you're interested in that one, it's hard to see on here, but it's white. It sort of just has like a smoky gray over the whole thing. It's how like a fog, perhaps. What am I doing? I am using Called for Colors on this one, and it is a mix of a whole bunch of different things. So, okay. Next one is Houses on Stitchery Lane. This is a 9-month series from Pansy Patch Quilts and Stitchery. There's the cute needle minder that we have to go with it. I'm stitching this one on Sugar Cream Pie 16 count by Bestitch Me. This is a half yard cut. Do we have those in stock? Are they back? I think they're in stock right now. This one I told you guys couple episodes back, I had gone in and filled in all the border, and then down here I did it wrong. I put an extra star, and I got frustrated, so I haven't been back. But I need to come back to it. I'll show you quickly. There's 6 have been released, so 5 have been released, 6 is just about to be released. Got to look at it, it's super cute. So the first one is the Stitchery House and the Rick Rack House. Let's see. This Stitchery House is completely finished. Rick Rack House, I just need to fill in the house, and then it will be finished. And our third spot is the Button House. 4th, Hot Cocoa. And number 5 is the Patchwork House. Again, need to get back there.
When you pick that one up, do you have like a goal of what you want to complete? Or you know how like Cheryl has it, she picks the 13th and the 31st to work like on a big piece. Like, do you have something set like that for this one, or you just kind of pick it up when you don't feel frustrated with it?
I don't have anything set. I just sort of pick it up. I had been working on the stitch script pieces for a while, and I really liked them, but I could tell I needed to switch, and so that's why I pulled out the dragon and got to work on the dragon. So I go into my room and I go to the kits that are completely ready, already started, and I start working on those. And then this one, this was a market release, I believe, or right before. That it's a new start, wasn't on my plan. So it's the Book Goddess by Tiny Modernist. I love her because she has purple hair. Kimberly and I disagree on pearl or purple.
She's cute.
I love it.
She's cute.
I love her hair. I love how it plays off that typewriter. So I just pull her out. She had a long run while I finished up her torso and hair. I don't know when she's coming back out.
Pops on that fabric.
Yeah, I think I'm sort of noticing maybe I do seasonal sewing, and so she was out for the spring. Because right now I'm really feeling an itch to get back to Halloween and Christmas stuff. Because I really like Halloween and Christmas, so I might. Is that everything on that list? And then just super quickly to show you, so these are all the things I've been working on. Here are the things quickly that I plan to work on, so I have them, thank you, in these hanging, I have these hanging in my closet, and so what I have in here is the pattern, and then I have the thread and the cloth. I'm showing you again these really quickly because this is what I showed you in January, and this was my plan. And these have not happened because they have not been moved into a nicer bag with everything that they need. So quickly, there's a Spooky Night, Tiny Modernist, Neverland Tree, Tiny Modernist. Oh, look here. Magic of Christmas, Tiny Modernist. And then these two I really want to get back to. These are the Crochet Go-Go, and I haven't done one of hers yet, and I really want to get a start on these. And so I can see everything in here is, or most of it, majority of it is the Christmas and the Halloween. So I think that may be what I'm moving into right now. So I think that is everything.
And are you good, like if you start a project, are you okay abandoning it if you get tired of it, or do you like
No.
make yourself finish?
Nope, gotta finish it. I'm like that when I read a book too, and I'm trying really hard to break that habit because it shouldn't take so long to read a book. And I know when it's taking forever, I don't like it. And I don't need to know how it ends if I don't like it, but I'm the same way with,
You have a few questions.
okay.
Do you find it difficult to stitch on dark cloth?
No, I haven't had a problem with that. I was having a problem seeing well at all, and I got new glasses, and we really ramped up their progressives, and we really ramped up the magnification down low. So that has really helped. And I have a light that was in my quilting room, and I didn't even think about it, and I looked at it the other day, and I moved it to where I stitch, and now I have it coming right over my project where I'm stitching, and that has helped a ton. As long as I have really good light, I can stitch on whatever.
Can you tell us the name of the Halloween raccoon pattern?
Yep. This one is Feral and Spooky by the Stitch Grip.
I think that's, oh, are you gonna stitch the Midsummer Stitch Tiny?
I'm not sure which one that.
I wonder if that was from the Midsummer Stitch that's hosted by Lindy Stitches. Maybe
Oh.
if I'm saying that wrong, correct me, but maybe they did an exclusive or something for
Yeah,
that.
I will definitely go to, I think, I remember now with you saying that and with her description, I think I remember what it is. I'll go take a look. We'll see. Why not throw something else into this?
The frames
Plan.
you showed at the very beginning, are they custom or are they like just standard from the store?
They were just standard frames from the store. They were having a frame sale, and I just went on there and made myself pick. Didn't want to overthink it. I just forced myself to choose, and I like how all of them look. Is that
Awesome.
Yay!
perfect?
Okay,
Thank you,
now
everybody.
Alicia's gonna join us.
Good morning, y'all. And I'll start with my FFOs. I had 3 this year. I'm looking at the script and that's not right what I put on there. So my first one is the Shepherd's Year, January. I'm doing all the months for the Shepherd's Year. I'm behind actually, but we'll talk about that later. So I stitched this on Cream and Sugar 14 count. I'm using the same fabric for all. And the fabric I used for the back, I pulled from the Swiss Dots layer cake. Denise actually helped me figure out what fabric to use for the pillow. So I literally just bought this layer cake. And I mean, you get a good variety of colors with it, and I really wanted to do like a contrast kind of thing. The pom-pom I used is Lady Dot Creates, and Denise showed me a little trick, because what was I saying? I didn't want all of it, because remember I had to cut it. You showed me like this trick to do with to cut in between here.
So yeah, you have to remove that tape, and Lady Dots has it on her website of how to remove it. But yeah, you like cut ever so many, and then
Pull it
you just
apart.
like pull it apart, and it comes undone.
And that's what I use for the outside of the pillow. I will say I learned I want to stuff it more than what it is. Like I've said before, you don't realize how much polyfill you actually need until you're actually working with it. But this is my first FFO I've ever done, and I'm really proud of it.
Yay!
So,
When did you actually start stitching
December
of 2025?
2025. Yeah. So I'm fairly new, but I'm proud of the FFOs I've done, honestly, because I feel like that's the hardest part of cross stitching or finishing cross stitching. So that was my first one. And my second one is will probably always be one of my favorites, Garden Goose by Erin Elizabeth. When I saw that this was a market release, and when I saw this pattern, I fell in love with it. I think is that
Geese?
multiple?
I think so. Geese, yeah.
I think they're so cute. I love the little porch goose trend. I don't know if that's still a trend, but I think that's really cute. I use the white petty point on raw natural linen 32 count, and I think, no, this is not the first like higher count. Other than 14, I'm a 14 count girl. But this one wasn't really hard to stitch. I know Denise said it might be difficult with the dots because they're
printed on top of
Right.
the actual fabric.
right, and I didn't have any issue with it at all. This was a fairly quick stitch. When I find something that I really like, I want to get it done, and it probably took me a weekend, 3 days maybe, of just really focusing on it. And I found this piece at Hobby Lobby. I don't know if it's still available, but the number is 2515815, and I used the Lori Holt vintage trim in Beehive. And Denise actually helped me.
Yes.
Or she didn't help me finish it. She was looking over my shoulder, making sure I was doing it
It was just
correctly.
a guidance.
Yeah.
I was just there in the room in case frustrations arise.
But this is probably going to be one of my all-time favorites. And my husband's like, would you ever give them away? And I'm like, no. I feel like quilting stuff projects, yes, but stitch work is a lot harder than quilting. And you know, you pick up what you want to stitch for yourself and not really, unless it's you're making it for others, but I will never give this one away, ever. And then my last FFO, this was another market release, Spring Rain by Teresa Kogut, and I stitched this on Daisy Delight 14 count by DigiStitchery, and this one's another favorite, will probably be another favorite of mine because I really, really love this pattern. This was another market release that I was like, I have to do it quickly. No changes here. I tend to stick with the called for thread. If not, I'll just change and use alt DMC, like the conversion from the pattern. I did add a little more raindrops on the side to give it more fill-in for the frame. I found this at Kohl's on sale. I went like a whole day of frame shopping for this piece and found this. I bought like 3 frames, but this one I ended up using, so I have extra frames if needed. But yeah, another favorite FFO. And that's all of my FFOs for now.
Pop-up.
Oh yeah, sorry. Thank you, Jordan. A pop-up. This is Be Still. I don't have the pattern. It's probably in my bag. By Primrose Cottage. I made this for my mother-in-law for Mother's Day. I bought this frame also at Hobby Lobby. Cream and Sugar 14 count by Fiber on a Whim. And yeah,
It looks good.
thank you. Well, thank you to Denise for showing me how to finish. A lot of like this pillow finishing, I had to watch the Cherry Love pillow finishing that Denise put out, and I will be watching that again. My stitched finishes are mainly my shepherd's year. So I have December, and then I also am pairing, like showing y'all the fabric that I'm going to use for the back of the pillow. I haven't figured out all of my pom-pom trim yet because I need to actually look at the colors, but this is December, and the fabric that I'm going to use for the back, again, Cream and Sugar 14 count by Fiber on a Whim, all called for. I tend to stick to called for colors. I'm not really comfortable with making that decision yet. So that's December. And then we have February. This is probably one of my favorites, and the fabric that I'm going to use. Now that I'm looking at it, it doesn't really match. I might change it. It matches like when I look in person, but on camera, maybe it's just the camera.
Let's go with the camera, because from here it looks good.
Looks good to me.
Yeah, okay, it's the camera. Again, Cream and Sugar 14 count by Fiber on a Whim. Yeah, I really like this series. I don't really care for sheep that much, but I just think they're really cute, and to have something to do every month,
Yeah.
I like that.
Do you have 5 of the 12 done?
I have December, January, February, March, April, and I'm working on May still. So 5 done.
That's a lot of progress.
Well, and they're really small. I really feel like it's not much. But again, I'm the type to, I want to finish something and not, I struggle with having multiple WIPs at one time. My next one is March, Shepherd's Year, and I have 2 fabric choices here, either the dark kind of hunter green or the light one.
I like the light one.
I was
Denise,
thinking the
what do you
light.
I was gonna say light, because then if you need to, you can always go darker to your pom-pom trim if you
Yeah,
need
that's
to.
because, yeah, like the contrast
Like
thing that I want.
if you wanted that contrast, yeah.
So I think I'm going to choose the light green one. And we don't have the layer cake in stock anymore, but we do have the fabric. We sell the fabric individually. Next one is April. I remember saying I wasn't really a fan of this because purple, honestly, it's not too bad. It's not horrible. The fabric that I'm going to use for the back of the pillow, Cream and Sugar 14 count by Fiber on a Whim again. Called for colors. And then I'm working on May, so I honestly need to catch up because we're about to be in July and I haven't even done May, June, or started July.
So for the cream and sugar piece, did you buy one piece and cut it all down before you started each?
I bought a fat quarter and I just cut as I go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I cut pretty much the same size of all the ones that I've made and I can get about 4 or 5 out of a fat quarter, so I mean, have to buy, I guess, 3 for the whole year.
Do you have one cross stitch bag that holds all of them?
Yeah, I keep them all together with the corresponding,
yeah.
like the fabric that I'm going to use, so I know where to get them, where to grab them.
Are you gonna do a finishing day where you like finish all the ones at one time that you have? Or are you gonna end up waiting until the end of the year that you have all 12? Well, 11.
Probably until I have all of them done for the year, because that way if I do it once, I don't have to keep rewatching the video
Yeah.
11 times.
By the time you get to your 5th one, you're gonna be a pro.
Right, I
You're
know.
gonna have it memorized.
So yeah, I'll probably have them all done in maybe, well, I guess November maybe, because I've already
Yeah.
stitched December. And then my last one is Whimsical Quaker by Primrose Cottage. I love this pattern, the fabric. I think it's very cutesy, girly. This is Meadow Dot 14 count by DigiStitchery. I did use all DMC for this one, and I learned how to do my what is this called?
Backstitch?
Backstitch for the first time. But yeah, this one's really cute. I love
You
it.
chose a perfect cloth for
Yeah.
that one. I love
Thank
that.
you. I was going back, I remember telling Denise I wasn't sure because the lightest green of the lightest green in the pattern, I didn't know if it'll show up well on the fabric, but it's a little darker than the fabric and I think it looks
Looks really
good.
good.
But yeah, I love the mushrooms. I love mushrooms in general, like the design of them. And then my whips. Oh no. I've put these to the back burner. Edgar Allan Poe. I was doing really good on working on this and then I don't know what happened. I just put it away and never picked it back up.
I'll blame Nashville Needlework Market happened when we decided to jump on all those new patterns.
Maybe, yeah, because like Spring Rain took me quite a bit to do and I was really focused on that one for a while. This is Spooky Hollow Lighter 18 count by Fabric Flare. Maybe I'll pick this one up again because I kind of want to do the next one, but that one, I don't know. But I really like this one, and I know Chelle did this one as well. But I love the fabric choice for this one too. Maybe I'll pick it up next month or something. I need to catch up on my shepherd's here first. And then my poor husband, he picked this one. This one, The Summoner by Autumn Lane. I asked him if I were to stitch something for him, what would it be? And he, of course, picked the most difficult pattern I've ever seen in my life.
So her husband works in receiving, and that's how they met here. But did he see it when he received the product in, or did he?
I remember him telling me, like, have you seen, like, him checking it
Okay.
in, being like, have you seen this pattern? And I'm like, yeah, I've seen the pattern. But this one is just, I'm looking at it and I'm like, it looks so difficult. It will take so long to do, like all the fill-in, the black, all the little details. I mean, it'll look really cool when it's done. So maybe I'll pick this one up for him. But it's hard to do something that you don't love or want to do for yourself, but I have to do it for him. And this is
Been there.
This is Heather, 28 count by Fiber on a Whim. I think a lot of us like Fiber on a Whim. Chelle,
Yeah,
I noticed you, yeah. Digi Stitchery, that was another one that I really like. But yeah, I guess I've just done this part and have not picked it up in a very, very, very long time. So we'll see if I...
Because most of that piece is pretty much full coverage, other than where you see that like purple,
The purple,
showing.
orange, yeah, that's the fabric. And so when I get down to here, that's pretty much the most full coverage on the pattern. And Denise did blow this up for me because the inside, oh yeah, the inside is not colored, and I find it difficult to read patterns when it has multiple pages, like going back and forth and figuring out where I'm at in my progress. And so blowing it up on one piece of paper really, really helped. But yeah, that's this one, I don't know. Well, we'll see. And then my last, is this my last WIP? I think so. Pink Coat Santa, which this one oh no, there's two more, or one more. I actually enjoy. I think this one's really cute. Teresa Kogut is one of my favorite designers. This is Pink Sand, 28 count by Witchelt. Maybe if I focus on this one, maybe I'll have it done by the end of the year. Because I think this is another focus piece that I want to try to get done.
You pretty much stitch at least on that one.
Yeah.
Like each month,
Yeah.
give or take.
But I really like this one too. Don't know how I would finish it. Maybe a frame, but unless she comes out with another cute pattern that I have to get done. I really love her designs.
So when she's talking, I just think, and this is something I talked about on a previous live stream that kids say, and y'all didn't know what I was talking about, but like a lot of live streamers say it, it's like squirrel, like
Yep.
like you're doing something and then you get distracted. So like I feel like I want to say squirrel every time she says that.
My last WIP is Shepherd's Ear May. Again, cream and sugar, 14 count, Fiber on a Whim. This one's probably one of my favorites for the whole series. Just need to finish the little hill and all the little stuff. So what I do for Shepherd's Ear for all of my pieces, I always do the like vines. What are these? Stems, flower stems, vines, I don't know. I start with those first and then I'll go in here and do all the little fill-in stuff. But yeah, that's all of my things for since January.
So I feel like that's great. I mean,
Yeah.
she's a brand new stitcher and she just kind of jumped in.
Yeah, are you
Head
surprised
first.
for how much you've grown? Like,
Well, more so for the FFO part.
Yeah.
I think that's what I'm most proud of myself for. I could honestly stitch a lot more, but when Denise was like, if you want to take a break for the 2 weeks, I took advantage of that break, and I really didn't stitch much since she sent that email.
You have a tip and a question.
Oh.
Are you stitching over one on the 28 count fabric for the Pink Coat Santa?
No, over 2.
And then a tip for the summoner.
For the summoner, maybe try gridding and filling it in by section. When I get overwhelmed, that works for me. Let me see your pattern now. I'll give you another tip. Let me see your summoner pattern. Okay. So one thing you could do,
The inside is a printout.
that's okay. So what you could do is, I'm only showing a little bit. Do we have those little sticky notes?
I have it on read set. Let me
So
grab it.
what I would do if I was doing this pattern, and it's something that I would have done on the basket pattern if I had been home and like where I had all my stuff. But what you could do is like take it in sections. Like,
Oh,
okay,
nice.
I'm gonna do this section and then I'm gonna stop. And then I'm gonna do that section and I'm gonna stop. Instead of trying to go all the way across, if you just do
Right.
little sections, that would give you a little bit of like, oh, I'm I'm a little bit, and then as you go up, it's easier because the bottom row is, you've got
Yeah.
something to
Yeah.
base it off of.
Yeah, maybe I'll pick it up. I don't know.
You'll get there. Would that
Next
be like
year.
your first largest piece per se?
Yeah, for sure. Besides, I guess Spring Rain was the largest.
largest.
one I've done so far, but that one, yeah.
Denise is next. She has 2 humongous bags. Show them your bags.
So this is one. It has other things in there, and then the active one that I'm working on. So I am very much what Kimberly described as squirrel. I set goals in the beginning of the year, and then they just kind of fall by the wayside. Not in a bad way, but just I get too excited to stitch other things. So let me grab, I tried organizing everything, of course digitally, because it's just easier for me because I can take it anywhere. So for FFOs, I only have 2 right now, and I'm still I still haven't even closed this. I'm still counting it as an FFO. This is the Animal Cracker Series Olive by Stacy Nash. It includes in the pattern the mini, the main one, the mini, and then a pin keep. So I am working on the rest of them. I'm trying to see if I have the pattern because I probably don't. But this is my first finish, and then my second one is the same as Kimberly, the strawberry pie. Usually when it comes to finishing, and even with Kimberly's stuff, I tend to do it all at one time. Like I will set aside a day here at work and just tell Kimberly, like, I'm in the film room, I am knocking out everything, because I tend to film everything as well of what I'm finishing, so that there's, content, you can see what I'm doing, and I can give you tips and tricks. It's easier for me to FFO here at work than it is at home, just because I have literally everything here at my fingertips. I have fabric that I can pull from, I have trims and all that, so I will spend a day probably in the next couple of weeks, because Kimberly will be out. But oh yeah, and in the tutorial we talk about the whole applique. Kimberly said she's using hers as decoration. I will be in the future using mine. I just haven't put it in a bag yet, but I have the little strawberry keep, and then this is where you put your needles. So I'm really happy about this. This was my first finishing on the crackers, and I'm very thrilled with how it came out. This was a new challenge for me. It's, when it comes to finishing it, sometimes you see the same finishes. It's either using sticky board or it's a pillow. This definitely got me out of my comfort zone of not doing your traditional square rectangle pillow or just adding, fabric to it. This one I had to be in the right mindset to do it, and then try not to get down on myself as I went along if it wasn't working out, or I did something wrong, because once you cut, you can't go back, unfortunately. So those are FFOs. Hopefully by the end of the year, when we do our end of year recap, mostly all of us have FFOs instead of stitch finishes, but we'll see. But I do have,
It'll be you finishing.
I know. Alicia goes, it'll be you finishing all of them. And usually that's what like in November is when I knock out everything, because it's just easier. I have everything. There's nothing pending from per se Kimberly's stitching that I'm okay, I have to go back. But here is the stitch finish of the Quaker Snippets 2. When I showed it in the beginning of the year, I didn't have some of the small stitches in, but it is completely done. I do have a finishing idea of what I'm going to use. I literally had to pull all this out of my bucket this morning, because I had already filed it to what I was going to stitch on it next, or finish on it. This is on Cafe Olay 36 count by Fiber on a Whim. And on the other side of this from last year, I have Quaker Snippets 1. in the beginning of the year, I had mentioned that as she released, Brenda Gervais released the Quakers, that I would continue stitching them all on this piece. However, the next one she released was an Americana Quaker, and I don't typically decorate for Americana, so I decided to skip on that one. If she comes out with something that's more seasonal, or just, you know, something that I do decorate with and put in my house, I will continue stitching it on this side. But my goal is to at least finish these two before the next one comes out, so that I can already cut my fabric up and not have to take along these two pieces for fear that these may get damaged, in the sense of like it getting dirty or something when I'm over here working, when it's such a big piece. So that's one finish. The second finish that I did that was not in the plans in the beginning of the year were and as you can see, like everything's folded. I didn't even iron or do anything before, is the Balloon Notes by October House Fiber Arts. And these released at Nashville. So usually in how it works for Nashville, we get all the emails, Alicia and I, Kimberly, Chelle, Cheryl, we get the emails of everything that the designers are releasing so that we can order for the store. For us, it's a treat because we get to kind of see ahead of time what we want to add to our stitching schedule, what we like, so forth. This one I saw and I'm like, oh, it's cute. We bought it. I want to stitch it, but not anytime in the near future. When we got there to Nashville, that I saw all three of these together, I tried to find every excuse to get this like in the stitching rotation as soon as I could. So when Stitching Gem said that there was going to be, that she was hosting that Market Mania, and I'm like, perfect excuse. Any excuse I can get to throw something in, I'm taking it. So I stitched this one in May, and then in my WIP section, you'll see that I started number 2. Why I went out of order, that I started with 3 and not 1, no rhyme or reason. I just grabbed whichever one at the time when I was kitting my bag up. So this is one of my stitch finishes ready to go. I will not FFO it until I have the other 2 finished. So honestly, who knows when that will be. So there's one, and then the other 2 are from the same one. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, right here is the Animal Cracker series. This is the Gosling. So this was the baby to this piece. Oh, duh. That's where the pattern is. It's in one of my bags because I'm actively stitching it. I'll get the pattern when I get there. But so this is the Gosling. I am working on the pin keep because there was 3 little patterns in that series. I've honestly been putting this off and finishing because it's tiny. When I did this one that I had to flip it inside out, it was very hard to get this head through the neck portion, like all this fabric to push through. And then on stream, when we flipped it, these are tiny pieces to flip through. Like there's not much room. So I have been delaying this guy just for a little bit. Clearly by the end of the year, it will be done. I just need to build a little bit more confidence in doing this type of style before I tackle this one. So that's my second stitch finish. My third one is the Animal Cracker series, the Pip and Cottage Sewing Book. This one I picked up to stitch for my mother-in-law. She loves hedgehogs. So when it was released, I immediately put into the rotation and then decided to start in May. I will go back and restitch it for myself and do it as one piece. One of y'all kindly emailed me the lady in Stitch Squad who stitched it as one piece for a bag. So I have saved that post, and because she also changed colors and the colors she used were amazing. So I will be using her post as inspiration when I end up stitching mine. but I won't pick this one up for my personal one until the end of the year 2027, because there are still more pieces that I want to put in front of this. So this is this is Pip and Cottage Sewing Book by Animal Cracker Series by Stacy Nash. And I did cut once I was done, I cut it out from the piece so I could put my fabric back up. Now for WIPs, there were a few that I honestly forgot that I had started. So the first one is the most recent that y'all have. Oh, one. I'll start with this one, actually. This is the first one I grabbed. So this is the pin keep one that I was telling you about that has the both the mama goose and the little baby gosling and then the pillow. So I'm right here on this pillow, same fabric. Like I said, I literally this morning just pulled these off my shelf because all these thread keeps or project portfolios that I've made, I just have them stacked on a shelf, kind of like if it was like books, and then whatever I want to stitch or whatever I feel like stitching, I just grab from there, or I have a little bucket that sits next to me on the couch. So this is where all my thread is, and then this is as much as what I've gotten on it. I mean, it will go pretty fast, being that, let me see if the back shows, being that all this right here is empty. It's literally just border, this little motif, and within here. So, I mean, for how quickly it'll be finished and that I already have 2 pieces of this done, I will be adding this to July stitching just because I'm literally on the home stretch, and then that way it frees up this project portfolio so I can put another one in. So that's one of the WIPs. The second one that I have that, again, it is literally at the very end, like I do not have much, is the Blue Notes #2. So all the borders done. I just need a little bit of dark blue down here and within here, and then finish off the leaves. These don't take me long. This probably took me at least a day, like a stitching session on a Saturday. That's when I have most time, more time to stitch. So because this one is like so close to the finish line, I don't want to put it back up on the shelf or in one of those plastic bags Chelle talks about, and I'll kind of go into detail there too, just because it's right there. Like, it would be a waste to not finish it since it's so close to the end. So I'll have to watch this FlossTube back later to see what I did for my plans and what I'm saying so that I can actually follow through with them and do it in July. But this one is going to go back in the bucket just so that I can get it done.
What blue fabric is that?
36 count aqua by Zweigart. And this fabric actually Jordan picked out. I was a little hesitant when he did, and I talked about this in a previous one because I thought it was too bright, but then once I got the colors on, it was perfect. So that's one. Let me see what a next one would be. And mind you, I'm just pulling from a pile down here. This one, when I was going through everything, I was very disappointed with myself for being that I have not touched this, I think, since February. So this is a Salem sampler by Plum Street. I had very, very high hopes that I would get this finished and done by October. There could still be a chance, but I'm not sure. The reason being is there's actually more stitches than what you think there is, at least for me. When I cut this piece down, Jordan looked, you see this and he's like, man, that looks big. And then I cut the piece down and he's like, actually did you cut it right? Because he thought it was too short, because in our head, we were envisioning like something very large, like the Halloween sampler that Teresa Koga did in her Hello Halloween book, like
3-4 years ago. So we were thinking of that size. So when I cut down the fabric, we were like, wait, what? But there is so much stitching. Like these flowers are just like this motif here is a lot. And this is the first piece that I ever did 1/1, which is right here. And it is bugging Jordan to the max that I have not put the M in. Like, I have avoided it. I go anywhere else but there. And I think for me, it's just each stitch or each letter here, I have had to rip out and redo because either I'm off or I'm in the wrong hole. It's just very different to switch from going to 1/2 on this one to then just doing 1/1. I just find my eyes, there's just trouble switching between the two. So I am waiting to do this M because all this text here is also 1/1. So that way when, you know, I do get to it, I know exactly what I'm looking at and what I need to focus on rather than like jumping between multiple things.
Use your finger and trace on the pattern. What is 1/1? Which parts?
So I'm actually going to take, just so I can make sure I do it correctly. So Salem here on the photo is 1/1, this text. Then, and thankful, so very thankful to Plum Street because she blew up the sections in her pattern to what would be 1/1 so that it was easier for you to, you know, to look at. So yeah, Salem here, 1/1. All of this text that says here, including who the author is, that is all 1/1. This 1692, that's, you know, your standard 2/2. But then there's a section, oh, right here, this text within this pumpkin, that's 1/1. Including all that orange fill-in. So like, yeah, all this section right here. I mean, it's very hard, but like blocking out there, that's all 1/1. So I think with that, I have put it to the side because I was getting frustrated with myself in doing it. And I talked to Cheryl about this. This is 32 count even weave. But for whatever reason, this is way harder for me to see than if I did a 40 count. Why? I don't know. And it's dyed by Bee Stitch Me. Like, I have other fabrics of hers, but for whatever reason, this specific piece, I love the colors and I love the fabric. Like, I'm still going to continue doing it. It's just, I find it so hard to see the whole, and I don't know if it's just the time of day that I pull this out or it's just me at the moment, not sure, but I think that has been the biggest like turn off for me to pull this out. I haven't even, other than here, I really haven't miscounted anything. So, you know, everything's lining up. I use the notability gap to track. So it's not even like, oh man, I've had to rip it out, I'm upset with it. It's not even that. It's the fact that I just can't see it. So I think I will be following what Cheryl does and pulls this out on the 13th and 31st because I really do want to have, this is so beautiful. Jordan and I already know exactly where we're going to hang it, and this is a piece we will actually leave out year round in our study. So technically whenever I get it done, I can get it done, but I do want to have it up by Halloween. So that will go into the rotation of on the 13th and the 31st. Thing that I'm afraid to admit, hopefully this will teach me how many months have 31 days because I do not know how many months have 31 days. So this will be also a learning lesson at the age of 30 to know how many days are in a month. So that's Salem sampler. I keep it in this one and everything just goes in here. My next WIP, I have fallen off. I was doing so good, y'all. Is Christmas market. by Country Cottage. I was keeping up. I was very proud of myself. This was probably the first series that, you know, I was doing good. But then I got distracted and I wanted to stitch smaller things because I had too many big things going. I had Salem Sampler, I had this one. And then another one that I'll show that I ended up putting back in a bag, or back in one of those hanging bags. I think I just got overwhelmed with the amount of big pieces that I had, and I wasn't seeing much progress versus in how you would do on smaller pieces. So I put this to the wayside. I want to say it's almost over the series of this. I don't know how many are out, but I feel like a majority of them are out for how many times Alicia is like, hey, here's a new one, and she brings me the pattern. So I think once I finish Salem Sampler that I get into a groove of stitching that one, finding what works, this will go back into rotation. I don't want to put too many things, you know, in, and then I get, you know, down on myself that I'm not, you know, completing anything. And I think that's the biggest thing is, like, if you do get overwhelmed, like, I try my best to catch myself, because I don't know what I would do without stitching if I did burn out from stitching, or like if I lost my mojo. I saw someone say in the comment that they, you know, lost their stitching mojo, and I feel you. Like, I've been there a couple years ago where I'm just like, you know what, stitching right now, I think I was like messing up or like being off count left and right of my pieces. I'm like, I'm just going to take a break. I'm going to go to quilting. I'm going to start reading again. And then eventually, when I was comfortable, and, you know, I see Kimberly and Cheryl stitching here at work that I got re-influenced, I picked it back up. So, you know, you do lose your mojo, and you do kind of, your goals change, and this one will get added back, just not yet, maybe in August or September. So if you are wanting to see progress, or you've been waiting to see progress, that's when I'll end up bringing this back. So this, I believe, was a third release. No, yes.
There's 7 out now.
7, it's out of 9, right? I think 1,
It's
2,
9.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. So 2 more. So maybe when they all come out, that's when I'll end up picking it back up. But I will, this one I absolutely love the design. And mind you, this is not including any of my work stitching. This is just strictly personal stitching, nothing that I do here. The next one that I have is, this is how I've kept it. This is the mini mat for plaid. Jordan, I think you can stay zoomed in. This is the Midnight Santa by Teresa Kogut. I have the pattern. She released this for the Jingle Ball, I believe. So I ended up getting the pattern digitally. I don't have the physical one. Granted, could I go and buy it? Yes, but I mean, I have it digitally, so it doesn't matter. But this is what, just to remind you guys, this is the Midnight Santa stocking. This one, I had every intention to get stitches in and then put it away, just so that I could get a start, I could get a feel for the fabric, so forth. So this was my very first time stitching on 46 count. So I had wanted to see, one, was I able to do it, just in general, to stitch on 46 count, and then also doing 46 count on a dark fabric, you know, because even sometimes, like, I'll struggle doing chalkboard black, Ada, 14 count, depending on how the weave is or just lighting in general. So I'm like, okay, well, doing it this 46 count over 2, it may be an issue. So this one was my intention to just start, where did I start? Here in this little corner, and just see if I could do it, if I liked it. This, I think I did at least on a Saturday night, maybe. I didn't stitch on it long, and that was the last time I stitched on this. So once I finish a big project, this is going to be considered a big project. So it'll take place of that one. I found in my stitching style when I was getting ready for this is I tend to stitch a lot of bigger pieces and then I get overwhelmed. So I want to slow down on that, and when one finishes, bring the new one in and have little wins throughout the month. And I even considered an FFO a win. So when I finish any of these threes, pieces, I still count that as a win, because that means it's done. So I keep the fabric in here, floss in this mini, and it just goes like this in here. Since I don't need to worry about a pattern, I'm good to go. And then the next one that I have, and it will be one of my last ones to show, or one of the few, is the Treasury of Compassion. So I ended up unkitting this from a bag and putting it back in one of these plastics to go in my closet. Because I had already too many big pieces going on, I didn't want to overwhelm myself even more. So this one, I had every intention to start doing this, or to start stitching on this every Sunday. But when I was doing, when was it? I think it was Market Mania. I found myself stitching just the things that I wanted for Mania and completing those small ones, because I was almost done by the time I got to Sunday, because I would do a new start every Monday. So by the time Sunday came around, I was in the groove on that piece that I was working with. So that's when this one fell to the wayside. So by the end of May into June, when then the Strawberry Moon Stitch Along started, I knew I wasn't going to do this. Why am I going to waste a bag when I knew this was not going to get done? So I put it back in one of these crystal bags from Amazon. It freed up one of my project bags so that I could, reorganize and stuff like that. So this one will come out again once a big piece finishes. A new one will replace it. This would be the next in line, just because I already have it stitched, or I have some stitched. And this is so far my progress. So, a good start, but not enough to feel like, man, I'm right at the end. I mean, I still have a ways to go. So that's that one. The other ones these are what I consider like my passive WIPs, of some that I have started but they're not active. And then the ones that I'm about to show you, these are my actual active WIPs. So the first one being Honeybee Garden by Lori Holt, and this is the sew along that we are hosting here at FQS. And this, from what you saw last time, this is where I was. This is the bag that I took on vacation last week. Never once unzipped it, y'all. That was very bold of me to think I would be stitching at Disney. Yeah, no. So this is where I'm at. We do have a breakdown on the Jolly Jabber blog of each section, and I am very much the type. This is where Kimberly and I are very different, and I think this is a very good thing that we are. Kimberly is the type of like, oh, I'm going to finish it. It's in my bag. I'm going to knock it out. The way she did with Farmyard Friends Quilted Farm Girl. I'm the opposite. I'm going to stretch this out to the deadline as what it's given so that I can add more things throughout the month. So because I have other projects going on that I want to work on, it's just more manageable for me, because I don't know, I just can't stitch the same thing for a long time. Like, it's just not, because then I'm like, oh man, I'm bored. I want to see something else.
She gets bored very easily. And so that's why she's so creative, is because something else like inspires her, and then she just like does it. Whereas I am less like, I'm like more like, okay, I gotta finish it before I even buy the next thing.
Yeah.
So that's how I encourage myself, but we're just different.
And when we do these sew-alongs, or anyone does breakdowns and stuff like that, use that as a guide to match with your stitching. Everyone just does it based generally of how, maybe the most amount of people stitch, or just what they think is best for the sew along or what have you. But if you've already knocked this out, kudos. I am so proud of you, because wowzers. Again, this is a big piece. So that's why I'm taking it in chunks, little wins, little milestones each time, so that I don't get overwhelmed and I don't feel like bored stitching this and solely stitching this for a month. Now, my mom, she can do that, and I am amazed. She is what's the word?
Monogamous.
A monogamous stitcher. She stitches the same piece until she's completely done. And I was asking her when we went on vacation, I'm like, how do you do that? Like, my brain just like, I bounce too much. But she's like, I don't, and she can't understand how I can just jump. She's like, I would get so confused. I would have no idea where I'm at. So this is Honeybee Garden. I think the next check-in is around July 15th. So that will be, I'll finish this half, and that will literally take me a sitting at home to do. So that's one WIP, and then the second WIP I have, and which I am literally almost done, is the Strawberry Strawberry Quilt, excuse me, by Primrose Cottage. So this one actually stitches up very fast. So once I get to the point of finishing the next quilting bee, I will be doing that. And that's a big thing, and Cheryl can maybe touch on this more when she comes back with it, and Chelle too, now that she started model stitching, is there's a balance that we have to do in stitching our personal and then also stitching work stuff. For me, I just love the act of stitching. So whether I am stitching it for work, stitching it for someone else, stitching it for myself, to me it doesn't matter. As long as I'm stitching and I keep that momentum going, I'm happy regardless. So for one of it's literally in the hoop. So this is the second or the third WIP of what I'm actively doing. This is Scissors and Buttons, I think is the name, for the Quilting Bee, the fourth installment. Yeah, fourth installment. So my goal is to get this done by the end of June. So I have not that many days left, but it goes a lot faster, again, than what you expect. So once this is done, then I'll go back to my personal stitching, and then I go back to then focusing solely on a work piece, and then I go back. We just bounce around, or I at least do. Cheryl, she may have a whole different system, but it's the only way that I can keep myself going. So yes, now granted, there's probably more stitches here than what I can remember that I've done, or I probably have missed some, but that's so far for 2026. A lot of things I'm proud of, that I've actually found a fabric or a count that I love stitching on, which surprisingly is a higher count, a 36, 40. Don't know how I feel fully about 46 since I've only done a couple stitches, but maybe in the future I'll try 56. And it would just be like, just to say I've tried it, I've done, even if it's not for me. I'm always down to try. And then if it doesn't work, well, you know what? I did it. I at least tried. So Kimberly is like, oh my goodness. Oh, yes, I have questions.
Too.
To fill your little ducks, use a very small embroidery needle. Oh, that's a good tip.
I saw that comment and I was like, if I did that, I would 100% poke my finger.
That
would go through too hard.
The Salem Sampler booklet, does it tell what it is? Does it tell what is that it's framed in? Let me find the pattern. And then I did see a question where you can make these folders that I have. We did a tutorial, I believe it was a month ago, on this FlossTube channel on how to make a project portfolio. I believe it was June 1st. So if you want to know how to make it exactly,
I put the link in there.
Oh, perfect. Alicia says she dropped the link. Let me see about the frame. About the frame, this beautiful frame is from Total Framing in Fairfax, Virginia. So she has it here on the back. So it was custom framed. Denise, for your borders, how many stitches do you usually use from the edge of your fabric? Like how much like margin I leave?
Yeah.
Ooh. It honestly, I think I'm like Alicia in that way. I just kind of eyeball it and go. I honestly don't measure. Like, I mean, this is a huge chunk in comparison to here. So I kind of just go. You know, I probably should be better at measuring so I don't waste so much fabric, but it's honestly I do it just enough where I can get the fabric within the hoop. Or like if I put my hoop here that I have enough. Why I didn't on this one, who knows. What is that hanging bag you are using for kits? So this is actually a tutorial. Kimberly did it, and it's actually Kimberly's bag. I had asked her after we filmed, did she want it? She said no, and I said, okay, cool. So I kept it.
Oh, that.
So if you're
I
talking,
think she means the hanging bag, but talk about
oh
that
my
one
bad.
too.
Okay, well this one, regardless, this is the bag that I use to like put all my stitching for work, and this is jelly braid bag, I think,
Yes.
and this uses the jelly braid paper. Kimberly did the tutorial on it. This is the actual bag she did in the tutorial. Behind the scenes, just so you know, when filming Kimberly in bags, I don't know. I mean, she is a trooper, y'all. There was issues with this bag, so I think she got frustrated at the end, and she's like, no, I don't want the bag. And I said, okay, thank you. Well, then I'm going to keep it, and I'm going to use it for work to haul stuff back and forth. So I ended up keeping it. Clearly, if at any point she wants it back, she can definitely have it, but until the time being, it lives with me. But these hanging bags, I was influenced by Nicole Spohr at the beginning of the year. She went into a whole tutorial on how she organized her WIPs, her kitted up stuff, all that. So these I got from Amazon. When Chelle and I, that day we were talking about like organization, she's like, oh, I'm gonna go get some. Can you send me the link? So then I influenced Chelle, and now these bags are a lifesaver, because if you don't have that many project bags, or you rotate based on seasons and whatever, like this is a good way to keep everything together. Or if you have a pattern and you have a fabric, you just haven't bought the floss, like it's a good way to keep those things together so you don't forget what you were doing, but not wasting up a project bag. So that's what these hanging bags are. What thread is Compassion stitched with? It is a Valdani variegated thread. Oh, it was in the bag. Let me see. It's written here. It's the only skein that's used. Valdani Golden Autumn. And you will need, if you're doing 40 count, you will need 2 skeins. Would it be possible for FQS to do a tutorial on how to load your iPad with a pattern, scan pattern, plus anything else that would be helpful with stitching from the iPad? I can definitely do that. If y'all can drop a comment after the stream, if y'all would prefer it to be an actual standalone video or a quick reel, to me, I can do whatever. It's just a matter of how much in detail do y'all want me to go in the 3 minutes I have for a reel.
So basically tell her, do you want it to be quick and 3 minutes, or long and detailed over 3 minutes?
Anything else, Jordan? Perfect. Take it away, Kimberly.
Oh no, you're doing that.
Oh, I'm doing Stitch Quarterly. Beautiful. Okay. So June 2026 Stitch Quarterly reveal. If you have not received your kit or you don't want to see what it is, don't turn us off, just close your eyes. So this month or this quarter I should say, was designed by the lovely Cecilia Turner from Heart in Hand. So this is your project bag that you get. And what came in, Jordan, don't highlight that one. I haven't said all of it yet. So what came in your bag is your pattern. So this is the pattern that she designed. My Blooming Country Home. This pattern will release to the general public 6 months from the time Stitch Quarterly ships. So the beginning of June marks the first month. On the back, she has corresponding patterns that she has out that will go with this. She stitched this on 32 count vintage country mocha Belfast linen 2/2. We use 10 classic color work, so you get in your kit the 10 threads that are used. So see Shelley, Dublin Bay, Wavy Navy, Weeping Willow, Licorice Red, Ponderosa Pine. This was a new color from Classic Colorworks that released this year, so very excited to actually include it in Stitch Quarterly in the year that it came out. You're working with 3 browns. You have Straw Hat, Wagon Wheel, and Hickory Sticks, as well as Snowball. So the pattern uses these 10 colors. You only need 1 skein to complete it. You will literally, even if you change and goes to say 14 count, 25 count, you will have enough. The design stitch count is 82 wide by 54 high. So if you're doing 32 count or 16 count, it's about 5 and 3 inches. 5 by 3 inches. So that is the overview of the pattern. I know somebody asked earlier in the chat what fabrics were used for the pillow. I'm assuming you meant this fabric here. This, I don't know what the collection is. But if you have any stash of Bonnie and Camille fabric from like Nantucket Summer, Blueprint, what would be another one that's like her blue lines, that's perfect. So that is the information with the pattern. We also, in there you get your nice insert. In this insert, oh good, in this insert is your coupon at the very bottom. So please scan that. It takes you directly, the QR code takes you directly to the things that are on sale. And then this is also the new notion that came out in the Stitch Quarterly. This is the cross stitch fabric label sticker pack. So if you follow us on the quilting channel, you may have seen the quilting version of this. So you essentially write, do you mind if I show how to use this?
Yeah, show it.
So if your fabric, say you cut your fabric and you lose your tag, or your fabric didn't come with the tag, but you want to keep it organized. So you would write your fabric color, Vintage Country Mocha, your count, so I'll go with 28 count here. The type, is it linen, is it even weave? The brand, this is Weigart. And then your size would be what size of, like, is it a fat quarter, is it a half yard, is it just a scrap piece? So I'm just gonna rock with 18 inch by 26 inches. And then your fabric, say this is what the fabric is folded ready, and you didn't have this tag, like it got lost, it fell off, can't find it, you just stick it, and then now your fabric's labeled. What's nice is that this is very reusable and the sticky stays sticky for a while. So you can, peel it off, stick it back on, and you don't have to replace it. I actually have ordered a pack. So this is the only thing, the cross stitch fabric label sticker pack, that is available outside of Stitch Quarterly at this moment. So you can, if you didn't get Stitch Quarterly, you can still get this notion and organize your fabrics and all that. So there's that notion that we included. And then, oh, is it in the bag? Oh yeah, here it is. I was like, oh my goodness. And then the exclusive enamel needle minder. So the minder and the bag are exclusive to Stitch Quarterly. You cannot get that outside. Your pattern will be available in 6 months, starting from June of 2026. The notion of the cross stitch fabric label sticker pack is available now if you're not in Stitch Quarterly. And then of course, we include the Kimberly's cross stitch needle size 26. You get one, I don't have it in here, but you get a single needle so that you can start stitching this. for the model that we stitched to show you guys, here is it stitched up and finished. I did 32 count even weave. So I think, hold on. Yes, she did a linen, the 32 count linen. So I stitched the same fabric color and everything, but in a even weave. So design size and everything came out. I also finished it in a pillow, so I did it similar to her. The only difference clearly that I added was no quilting fabric on the front and then this ruching. Since that was a 1U finishing that I've done this year, ruching is one of my favorites now, so you'll be probably seeing a lot of things with ruching. And then the back is a cat name stitch fabric. I ended up, anytime we do some sort of step out for filming, or I think maybe this was from Jolly Bar Day that we had extra, just like random pieces of fabric from Kimberly's quilt after filming. Kimberly says, we don't throw anything, like we find a way to use it elsewhere. And I kept like maybe 15 SKUs from the Jolly Bar. And this was, I mean, perfect match to the colors and everything. So that was the back. And then this here is where my seam is, where I closed it, because the print was so busy. And I mean, it's the back of your pillow. I didn't find the need to cover this stitching. Now, if it was very noticeable, then fine, I would have done it, but I didn't on this one. We did release a reel of how I finished this. I did see some comments of if we can slow down this ruching so y'all can see exactly how I did it. The next time I do a ruching tutorial or do a ruching on a pillow, I will do a tutorial and, you know, walk through everything that I've done, supplies and tips and tricks. So that is on the list if you guys are wanting that. So that is Stitch Quarterly. We do have a few kits left that you can get all of this. So feel free to check that out on the site if you like the design.
Thank you.
Yeah. Ooh, sorry, Kimberly.
One question we got was, this is behind us. This is called Be My Honey. It was a Stitch Quarterly 2 years ago. So if y'all, that's one of the questions that I see. Another question I see is the electric unpicker. So this is the electric unpicker that I use, and it's basically a men's razor or something like that, and you just click it, and you have to, it's for quilting, so you would unstitch a little bit and then you just go like this. Now I will say I have made a lot of quilting mistakes lately, and I love this thing. So anyway, that was one question we got. Another question we got was, what is the name of the pink on Spring Bunny of Chelle's? It's Pale Pink Plaid 16 count digi-stitchery.
I think it's Picnic. Is it Picnic?
Pale Pink Picnic or
what she
Pale
calls
Pink
it.
Plaid. And then another question we got was, what was the fabric on Magic of Christmas by Tiny Modernist? And that was Sapphire 14 count by Fiber on a Whim. Okay, I saw that one of you guys commented about how awesome the cross stitch pattern grab bags are, and I don't know if we ever even showed these. So like once a year we'll go through, and if we have like old patterns and we just have like 1 or 2 left, you know what I mean? Like we want to clean up the website, we want to just kind of like get rid of older things. We put together grab bags. They include 10 assorted cross stitch patterns. It's truly random. We don't do returns or exchanges on them, but we just picked a random one. We went in the warehouse, we picked a random one. I just kind of wanted to show this because we got a really good review on it, and it kind of reminded me that we have that. For the hanging bag, we will put a link for you for there. For new stuff, we have Stitching with the Housewives, 3 paper and 4 PDF. So Welcome Wreath 3. House and Home, and America. And I love this one. This is one where I really want to make this one, so I'm trying to figure out, because obviously July 4th is coming up, but unlike everyone else, if I like something, I'll just stitch it. Like, I don't like necessarily stitch Christmas at a certain time or fall at a certain time. If I just like it, I'll just stitch it, because honestly, half of the stuff I make doesn't even get displayed because I really have no time to decorate. And I actually, that's one thing I don't enjoy doing is decorating. So the only reason my house is decorated right now is my daughter came home from college and she wanted some money, and I was like, well, you can decorate the house. So these are the new paper patterns from Stitching with the Housewives. They will be available as PDFs really soon. For their PDFs, for their Priscilla's Garden series, there's Work of Heart, Flower Delivery, and then for kitchen roundabouts, we have Just Roll With It and Kitchen is Open. And I've seen a lot of you have made this. I saw it in the Facebook group. So that's new. Teresa Kogut has 7 new patterns. Meek and Humble, this is the one that Denise has stitched.
Oh yes, I forgot to bring my piece. I had it at home.
Yeah, so she stitched this for her mom. Creator's Praise. From all that dwells below the skies, let the Creator's praise arise. Let the Redeemer's name be sung through every land by every tongue. Summer Garden Drum. House of Hope. And Welcome Home. I love this one. This one would be really easy to like customize, like if you live in a blue house or something, you could like change the colors easily. Divine Abode. And then Kitchen Whimsy. This is cute. Oh, sorry. I didn't know that was on the back, sorry. And then Thread Milk has 1 new pattern, Liberty Feather Tree, and I think we got a request for this. It might be an older pattern, but we got a request for it. And then October House, Blue Notes, 4, 5, 6. One thing I was thinking about when Denise was showing these, and when she was showing it, I got online to look. I was wondering if maybe the designer had stitched this all as one piece just to see what it would look like. And I didn't see that, but I thought, I wonder if there's some kind of setting where she's going to show all of them. I didn't find anything, but she showed you 2 and 3. This is 4, 5, and 6. Liberty Bunting, Hooray for the Red, White, and Blue, and Firecracker Lane. This is really cute. So this is just the same chart, just stitched in different colors. Cottage Garden Samplings, the Fawn. And this is the last of the series of 12. And so Alicia has put together a pattern set where you can buy all 12 of the Year in the Wood animals. Oh, and this is how it's packaged. So you would get all 12, and it's in an order of, 1 through 12. Artful Offerings has a new chart called Liberty and Justice. I think this one's going to be super popular. And then we have some new fabrics. So from Witchell, we have 2 different new colors. We have Vintage Blue Whisper and Vintage Green. So this is the Vintage Blue Whisper, and this is the Vintage Green. And it doesn't look green to me at all. So I'm going to show you on the front camera, but even on the front camera, I don't think it's green. I think it's light blue. So to me, it's called Vintage Green, but nowhere. Do you think it looks green? Mm-hmm. It's got maybe a little bit of gray to it, but so those are new from Zweigart. They're 32 count Belfast linen, and they're 18 by 27. Fox and Rabbit, we have. So they do 1 color every week that they offer. So they dye it, and then you can buy a certain amount. So this is Cactus Wren. So if you ever see Fox and Rabbit on Fat Quarter Shop site, I would just buy it if you're thinking about it, because it'll come back again in like a year. and we can only buy a certain amount. So this is Cactus Wren 14 count, 28 count, 32 count, 36 count, and 40 count. I'm going to hold them up too. So when I'm holding, this goes from 14 all the way to 40. And so you can kind of see the color difference between them. And then from DigiStitchery, we've been talking about how much we love their fabric. There are 2 new colors. There's Butter Cow and Funnel Cake. Jordan, can you do the top, please? Okay, so this is this is Butter Cow. 14 count. These all look pretty similar. 16 count. 18 count. And I'm going to open one of them so you can see it. I just don't want to get them out of order. 27 count. 32 count. And 40 count. So when you open it, oh, you can't really see it. Okay, do the front again. Sorry. So it's kind of like this. Can you see? Yeah. So it's got like a little bit of modeling to it. So that is Butter Cow. And then Funnel Cake. 14 count. 16. 18. 27. 32. And 40. And I'm going to show you also on the front so you can see. So that is Funnel Cake. And then they put together whitewashed wood in 18 count and 40 count. So it's got, it's very different from the Fabric Flare one. So the lines are very different, and this one has a lot more modeling, and it's a lot grayer. The Fabric Flare is a lot whiter, because I know somebody will ask me what the difference is. Just Cross Stitch Magazine Halloween issue is out. Now this will always sell out. So I'm gonna go through and show you what I can without showing you charts. So these are all different cross stitch designers, and they put them together by theme. So I'm gonna just show you the pages I can. Pumpkin Invasion. And on these, just so you guys know, on these magazines, we can only order them once. They're not reorderable. What does that word mean, Jordan?
It's just like a spiral.
Oh, I thought it was an animal. Is anybody home? So this one seems to have a lot more than, you know, sometimes there's just ornaments. This one's definitely got more than just ornaments.
It is. It's the sea creature in the middle of that.
Ah, it was the sea creature. I was like,
Can you Google that?
bewitching stitching. Let me hold it.
As Kimberly flips through, Alicia, you know, she sets up a day 2 before stream happens. So when Jordan comes in, he sees everything on the floor, like the new stuff. Immediately, he comes into my office with this magazine to flip through. Because, I mean, you know, Jordan, he loves Halloween. He goes, I like this one, I like this one, how about this one? I'm like, add it to the list, buddy.
You can do it.
I was like, he can do it. He knows how to stitch. He's done 2 pieces already. He can do it.
There's a couple of fall pieces in here, but most of them are on the same page as the chart. This one's really cute. I would make that, and I don't stitch Halloween generally. That's really cute. I wonder what kind of, oh, it is beads. I was wondering if that was beads.
Kimberly, as you're showing that, Bex from Texas asks, is DigiStitchery cloth crunchy, like stiff crunchy like Zweigart?
I don't, to me it's thinner, but it's still crunchy. So
Yeah.
because it's thinner, I feel like I can go a little bit faster. Do I know when
Got one more
Therese,
thing right there.
oh, sorry. Cotton Clara scissors. This is just a new color, blue mini sunflower embroidery scissors. These are so cute. Now, I will say they don't cut the best. These are just great for decoration, but they had a lot of colors at H&H, so we bought them and they are so cute. Do I know when, or do we know when Teresa Kogut's Scarecrow Lane pattern is coming out? It will, I think she might be talking about quilting.
I tried looking,
No.
and the one that I found was Scarecrow Lane was an exclusive for
Okay.
another shop, so I don't know if it's already released, like in a booklet or not. But I'll look after Livestream.
Yeah, we don't know that one, but if she does release it, we'll carry it. We are getting near the end of Floss Fix. What happens when we finish the alphabet for Classic Colorworks?
I'm actually working with Diane on that now.
Okay, so Denise will add that to her script when we get closer. So we got a question about if we use the large or the small vintage trim from Lori, and I can tell you me and Denise have only used large. The small is really small, and I would not trust myself to get it like perfect. It would be hard for me to get it like exactly where it needs to be. We got a request for top 5 designers. We're gonna not do that today, but we'll figure out on that I can't promise we'll do it. It's just real. I'm open to doing it, but I don't want to offend anybody. Like, what if I don't put someone on my list? Wondering if there's any floss colors needed for this month's Lori Quilting Bee Cross Stitch Club. That's because the pattern's not online yet, right?
Yeah, because it just shipped.
You could email customer service. Might know. You could email.
I don't think any new ones got added. Maybe hazelnut.
I think there's one new color and it's green. There's some kind of new color in there because
I think it is hazelnut. That's the new color that got added to this one.
Can we have a floss tube where we can see Cheryl's stash? I think that would be great, but I would say her stash is like a room. Like, I've been to her house. Like, I don't know if she'd want to carry all that here, and I know Jordan doesn't want to go all the way to her house. So I don't know. We'll have to mention that to her. But I just want to wrap it up and say thank you to everyone for sharing. Thank you to everyone for watching. Thank you for being a customer for 23 years. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you in 2 weeks. And you guys can look forward to seeing Cheryl's WIPs because it's probably going to be as much as we all showed you together.